Can everyone hear me now? Can everyone hear me? Oh, this is bad. This is a bad start to the stream as well. Bloody hell. Hopefully you can all hear me anyway. Hopefully you can all hear me. It should be there now, hopefully. Hey, bit of a messed up stream, but hopefully everyone's okay. Great news. International break is over till March now, so can we get a cheer on that, please? I know it was a bit stupid, but yeah, cool. Thought it'd be a bit funny anyway. But yeah, we're back from international break. QPR are back on the weekend against Hull City at home at Loftus Road. Loftus Road. Shouldn't just say Loftus Road anymore. Might get a bit of trouble for that. But yeah, we are back finally on Saturday at 3 p.m. at home. So yeah, what should we talk about? Well, for starters, let's talk about before we get into the preview, let's talk about the positivity of what our youth are doing right now. I think it needs to be mentioned, right? Because I know I keep saying we're gonna put a video out, but I never freaking do. But I think in this video, we let's talk about before the preview. Let's talk about our youth academy. You know, our youth academy have I've come back from Germany for a tournament that they did, I believe, which they did a cracking job. They did beating a big club, in my opinion, a big youth system. Tylon Smith doing well in getting into the final three of the South Africa or African young player of the year, whatever it is. Who else do we have? What else? Emerson Sutton on loan, doing really well at Morecambe. Yeah, there's a couple of other players that I can mention that are doing well, but we're gonna be here all night if we mention every youth player. But I'm very proud to say that we have a really good youth system now. I think we have one of the best. Not obviously the best, but I think probably top 10 in the UK, I think, to develop good talent. I think we have our youth. What he's building, Christian Nuri with the youth, is bloody brilliant. I think, I'm not trying to say we can compete with Man City, United, Arsenal, whatever, but I feel like we have a good youth system that we can say that we're going to earn some money from it, and we're going to bring in some decent young players through the system from it. So yeah, I think a big round of applause on that one for QPR. We're just killing the youth at the moment, mate. I'm very proud to mention that I am. First says it showed me when we won the Premier League Cup when strength we have the youth squad. But most of that, to be honest, Harry Murphy left, so that was an upset for me because I thought Harry Murphy deserved to get an opportunity in the first team this season, but obviously he left on reasons that he wanted to. But yeah, before we start with a positive, now obviously we're back Saturday, big game against Hull City. Now I say big game because pretty much we are out of form. We may have got the draw against Sheffield United away, but right now I just think we are at a point where we are closer to the playoffs than we are relegation. If you want to look at it in whatever way you want to do it, just because we're 16th, we're actually more points closer to the playoffs. So, yeah, whatever way you want to look at it, I feel like we still got a lot of work to do. Julian keeps bringing up, especially in this thing about consistency and stuff like that, we need to be consistent. Listen, we are not going to be off until March now. So we need to be consistent till March, if that's what he's trying to say. So he needs to make sure every player is fit for the next couple of months. And whatever comes in January. But he needs to focus on the team and the results. And he needs to prioritize home games now. Especially coming up with some big games coming up. People might say Hull City ain't a big game. But if you look at the table, where are they? They're in the playoffs, And yes, I did add the table. I added the table because I forgot to bloody add the other stuff. So I thought I add that instead. So yeah. But Hull City, last time we played Hull City, it was actually a cracking game at home. Very cracking game. But we got a lot to do. You know, I think Saturday is going to be a game where if we win, I reckon we'll have a good couple of games that will have a couple of good results coming back from international break. He, like Freddie says, he has said that the squad is fully fit apart from Ziyad Lakesh. We have a full squad, so that is a positive. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Poku on the bench. Like I said, it's going to be a difficult team to, as you would say, choose. Because obviously you've got to choose from a 25-man squad. You've got to have a 25-man squad. So yeah. But yeah, it's going to be a difficult one for him, but we need to prioritize what tactics we're going to do and what we're going to choose, you know. There's been a lot of talk in social, obviously in the news and stuff, about certain players, Samfield and all of that, about how he's being pushed out the door and stuff like that. There's been certain talks of Ronnie Edwards and some other centre-backs. But yeah, that's all over now. International break. Let's forget all the news. Right, so Wham says, hope you're okay, DB. Any predictions on the result against Hull? We'll get to that in a second, my friend. We will go with first, because we're going to do something a little different today. Obviously, as you can see, probably a little bit different on the layouts and stuff like that. But, yeah, first things first for the whole game, for what I know, is that one player is killing it for Hull at the moment, and that is Joe Geldhart. You know, we've got to be careful with him. I don't know if he's playing up front, and I don't know if he's playing on the wings, but he is killing it for Hull at the moment. And their manager, who is who's their manager again? I forgot whose Hull manager is. Oh my god, I just had it a minute ago. Hang on, let me bring it up. Give me a second. Sorry. I'm not prepared. I know. It is. Oh, I'm gonna pronounce it. Zerja Zakirovic. So it looks like he's got his team on point at Hull City with what they're doing. They're obviously in the playoffs, fifth. They're pretty much in good form. The only game they've lost is Derby County away on the 4th of November. So yeah. So Joe Geldhart is definitely one we've got to be careful with. I don't really know what playing style he does, to be honest. I don't really focus on Hull this season. Looking at the games that I'm looking at, momentum is pretty big at home for them. Let's have a look. Yeah, at home, prioritize their momentum is pretty decent. Possession wise, they don't really focus on possession, I don't think. Depending on the game, who they play. Low block teams. Leicester dominate them, but still lost. So, you know, Hull City beat them at home. So yeah, I would say we got to be careful. We can't take this on the chin, and we can't be like, this is easy, we got to win this. Listen, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a hard game. You know, and if we do come out with a good result, I would say we've trained well. You know, we've rested and trained well. But it's going to be a hard game. Don't go into this thinking it's easy, because this is Hull City. We all know what Hull City can... that bogey team. You know, Hull City are very much a bogey team for us. You know, pretty much most teams this season, like Derby County and all of that. But, yeah... I would say the thing that I'm looking at right now is that they've got goals and assists everywhere inside of their starting 11, from defence all the way to attack. You know, their top goal scorer is Joe Geldhart. Then Joseph. Is that Joseph from... no, it's not. It's a different Joseph. But it looks like... I'll say this. It's either set pieces or wing play. But Ryan Giles has 6 assists. And Lewis Coyle has 3 assists this season, and they're both wing backs. So that is something we need to look out for in the game. Okay, we need to look out for the crosses. We need to look out for the passing into the box. Whatever the free kicks are, if they are taking free kicks, corners, whatever they are, we need to be careful with set pieces. It looks like that's something we need to prioritize and be careful with. So, you know, as you can see, I haven't put the squad up there, but But the reason for that is actually because it looks like Squad Builder is off at the moment. I don't know why. It makes no sense. But we're going to do it together actually today. I thought we'd do something different. We're going to get into it in a bit. But we're going to do the squad together. You know, I say together, but half it's probably going to be a couple of us, and then just, you know, talking and smack. So yeah, let me look at the comments. Hopefully you're okay, Wham. Hopefully I did ask that. Foley, I'd start Hamer. Foley says Hull concede a lot of goals. Do they? 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. They've conceded 5 in the last 6. They have. They've conceded 5 in the last 6, which, I'll be honest, we're a lot worse. You know, we are a lot worse. So we need to be careful because we got Hull. Who else we got next? I actually don't know. Head-to-head wise, I want to check this out. So we beat Hull 2-1 away. That was obviously Marty Fuentes on the 21st of January. We lost to Hull at home 3-1 in 2024 October. Then we lost to Hull 3-0. So it's quite even. And head-to-head against Hull is they've got majority of wins, 9 wins against us. So yeah, it's going to be very challenging. We can't go into this thinking it's going to be an easy game. You know, like Foley said, someone said about they concede a lot of goals. We can't take that on the chin just because they concede a whole load of goals, you know. At the end of the day, it looks like they're in form. They're in the playoffs, and we've been struggling, and that's what it says on the books, you know. So we've got a lot to work to do. We need to get back on track till March, and we need to focus and prioritize this team. So yeah, that's pretty much talking on that. Now let's get into the squad, the team. Hopefully you can hear me in a second. Give me a sec. Can I copy this? I might not be able to copy it. Give me a second. Let's see. Can everyone hear me now? Hopefully everyone can hear me. Yeah, cool, awesome. Right, so as you can see, we got a bit of a... Oh, why is this playing up today? This is nuts, honestly. This is nuts. Why is this playing up today? OBS, this is why. Right, as you can see, different layout. Bit of a different layout. So yeah, stay calm. We're not going mental. We're going to try and do this together. We are. Let's get into this. It's a bit slow today, so I do apologize. Could be the cold weather, doubt it. Right, as you can see, QBR team here. This is probably from the previous game against Sheffield United, but we're going to go in this together. We are. So looking at the team here, I wouldn't be surprised if we played the same team. We might as well leave it like this, but let's have a look. So first things first, in goal, right? We have Paul Nardi and Hamer. Thirdly, obviously we have Joe Walsh, but the problem is I don't know if Joe Walsh is fit. He has said he's back in training, I think, but he's not fully fit or whatever. So I would say just because of the game that we played in Sheffield United, I would personally put Ben Hamer in goal. I would. He deserves it. He proved it, and I think he should start straight away against Hull. He looks like a good shot stopper. He looks like he might not be like the best at reflexes, but shot stopper wise, he is brilliant. Honestly, absolutely brilliant. You know, he's got a lot to learn. He does a lot to learn, but he's an experienced keeper in the Championship. So I would say, my sake, keep Ben Hamer in goal. Now, as you can see, the back four is there. Now, in my terms, all right, we're going to start with left back. So Davis can officially play. He can. So I would probably play Davis. I would at left back. Let me get this little picture up. Davis. Where is he? Where's good old Davis? Where is Davis? There he is. Mr. Welshman Davis. So, right, we're going to scrap the number as well because I just can't be asked with that. Right, so Davis, I reckon, should be in goal. Left back. Davis should definitely be left back. It's something we need to focus on. Now, probably down the wings as well. Davis will be good at defence and, yeah, go from there. Reminds you of Begovic, Foley says, of Hamer. I'm not a big fan of Begovic, so I can't really say. I won't defend it. I won't defend it. Sorry, I'm not a big fan of Begovic. Never have been. I've been more of a, like I said, a Paul Nardi fan. I'll be honest. But yeah, right. Left centre back. Right. I don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. But he had a really bloody good game. So yeah, he had a good game. Do you know what? I'm not going to do it because, you know why? Listen, let's be honest, right? Let's be honest here. I would put Mbenge there. I would put Mbenge at left centre back with Mr. Jimmy Dunn, Mr. World Cup, coming into the squad and qualifying for the World Cup with Ireland. Jimmy Dunn, our main man, our captain, right? That's how I would put Dunn and Mbenge at the back. That's how I would do it, all right? But 100%, he's going to put Mbenge at right back and then put Cook at centre back. I just get the feeling he will. He's just going to play the same centre back. He's just going to play the same thing as he did against Sheffield United. No. That's my honest opinion. That's what I reckon. But if it was down to me, this is probably what I would do. This is probably what I would do. Only because I feel like we need to try him out. We need to see what he's like. Adamson. Now, I think Hull will be a good start for him. Adamson at right back, if he's fit. Obviously, he says he's fit, but I think he'll be a good start for Hull again for right back. Adamson. Because he's young and he's pacey. And I think Mbenge at right back, when I saw against Sheffield United, he has the pace to do it. But unfortunately, the control and the crosses are not great. You know, I don't see Mbenge as a wing back. He's great at tackling, great in the air, and great at running. And to me, he's a good ball-playing defender who can push up into midfield and support the attacks. So in my defence, in my opinion, I think Mbenge needs to stay as centre-back with Jimmy and Adamson on the right-back situation. Or even Kieran Morgan or Samfield, someone like that. You know, I think that's what will be best, for sure. In midfield, Maddison and Varane, I'm keeping it like that. I'm not even going to move it because I just feel like, you know, for what he said, Burrell and Hayden are both just come back from international duty from Jamaica. So those two have not even landed yet, apparently. They're on the plane. So they're going to be jet lagged and tired. You know, they haven't had any training session with QPR this week. So I would say leave them on the bench for sure. That's my opinion. You need to leave them on the bench for sure, 100%. Going on to the forward line, as you said, there's no injuries whatsoever and players are back. I think we should start off by building and putting Kone up front. We need to put Kone up front, I think. That's my main thing. Kone up front. That's what I want to see. I want King Kone up front against Hull City. That's my honest opinion. I feel he can't play in centre forward. We need to stop doing this, Julian. He cannot play in a 2 or in a centre forward. He needs to play on his own up front with either Chair or Kieran Morgan or Madsen or Dembele, Sato, whoever it is behind him, just because they're going to deliver him balls where he wants it. Kone likes through balls, I was about to say balls, what the hell, through balls, through the middle, to his feet. well, in front of him, I should say, or headers or whatever, you know. That's what Kone does. He's not a deep lying forward or whatever. He prefers the ball through to his feet, you know. And that's what I would say. We need Kone up front, 100%. Now, it's hard to say the wingers because Dembele's been on form. Sheffield United, what a game. So, you know what? I would say keep Dembele on the right, put Chair in the middle, Ilias Chair in the middle. Where is his picture? There it is, Chair. So Ilias Chair in the middle, providing for Kone, my opinion. And on the left, I think we can only go with one player because he ain't going to be tired. And that's Sato. You know, he scored against Hull. Remember this. He scored against Hull last season. That cracking goal he scored against Hull. So, yeah, I would say this is probably the final touch I would probably choose if I was going to be the QPR squad manager. If I was manager or head coach or whatever, this is what I'd put out against Hull right now. Because this team right now is probably in form. Dembele, to me, he's in form. But the problem is, I guarantee you it, he's probably going to play a horrific game at the start. You know, for me, he seems to play better as a sub. He comes on as a sub and he plays so much better. Don't know why. It just seems a lot better. Ilias Chair needs to play in the middle. Either that or someone else, you know. Let's be honest. Now, I think we need to put this comment. We need to comment on this, okay? Chair is getting noticed about his right foot. He can't play on the left anymore. He's getting too noticed about his right foot. He needs to play in the middle. You know, if you think I'm right or wrong or whoever it is, put a comment below. Because I honestly think Chair needs to play in the middle now. Chair is getting noticed about his right foot a lot in the Championship. And they're pushing him more onto his left. Or they're keeping tight on him on his right. They are. So, in my opinion, Chair on his right foot playing on the left is probably a bad idea if you want him to shoot. You know, he's going to probably be a lot better in the middle. You know, and that's why Sato probably needs to play on the left. Because Sato will do the same thing as he did against Hull. He'll run through, around the back, and then shoot or cross it in, pass it in to whoever it is in the box. You know? That's my opinion. Honestly, I think this is probably the best team that we could play. Could be a better improvements in there as well. You know, Poku or someone like that. But like I said, Foley just said it in pretty much. He's predictable. So I would say we need to keep Chair off that left because he's getting too noticed on his right foot. You know, it's becoming noticeable and it needs to be fixed. That's what he does, Wham. That's what he does. He's been doing it for even when he was on loan at Stevenage, wasn't it, or Swindon, or one of them. Can't remember. But he would always go on his right foot, and what a shot he would do! One of these amazing shots he would, and he would just kill it. You know, destroy it. But I think, like I said, I think you need to notice it. Go watch his videos of the last couple of weeks. He's been watched a lot. He's not been able to get a shot on target. Not even a shot at all. So he needs to play in the middle, I think. I think it's time for him to play in the middle. So yeah. That's only my opinion, though. You know, everyone's entitled to their opinion, as I say. I would say, honestly, just keep him in the middle against Hull. That's the best bet. You know, I don't see him getting into any sort of shot anymore, unless you got a silly defender that makes a mistake. You know. That's about it, really. Silly mistake, and he probably score. But I think it'd be better in the middle. Dembele, Sato, obviously, you know, Dembele's been playing well, but only as a sub. Sato is Sato, you know. So yeah, I think we need to prioritise and give Kieran Morgan some gaming time. We do. Harvey Vale, we can't forget him. Maybe put Harvey Vale on the left, where his natural position, in my opinion. We can't forget about Paul Smith. He's done well on international break, so might need to give him a game on the right, you know? So right now, it's going to be difficult for Julian to choose who he wants, you know? Right now, for me, this is probably the correct team in form that I would choose against Hull, you know? And there's possibly a bit of a turn on the left sided with Harvey Vale, but yeah, that's how I would say. I'd sell Chair. Foley wants to sell Chair. Why does everyone want to sell Chair? Listen, look, I don't want to sell Chair. You know, Chair is a valuable asset to QPR. His loyalty remains at QPR. He is not disappointed at QPR. And I think right now, his best thing is to be at QPR. Unless he wants to go and work with Marty Fuentes in Leicester or go abroad or whatever. I just don't see any Premier League team going in for him, you know. I think he's dropped down consistently, you know, ever since certain things that I'm not going to say because that's his personal life, but I would say right now Chair is best at QPR, you know. I don't think we'll get as much as we want for him, what people would think, but I think Chair needs to stay at QPR. Chair definitely needs to stay at QPR. We can't think about selling anyone unless it's for a good profit of money. You know, Tyron Smith will probably end up getting into the sub bench just before the end of the season and the next season. And like I said, Emerson Sutton's probably going to do an Eze soon, you know, proper Eze. So this is the fit, right? Okay, this is the problem, right? Everyone is so used to Chair scoring goals, right? But it depends on how you play him, you know? Marty and Mark Warburton would play him as a shadow striker type of player, you know? He would be in there, in the box, or ready to pounce on the ball and do something. You know, because Marty's Fuentes' playing style was always wing style play, in my opinion. He would knock it out to the wings. I've not seen Marty put it through to the middle. So, you know, for me, Chair works best either in the middle or on the left. But I honestly think we shouldn't think about even selling him just because he hasn't scored a goal. But he's a valuable asset in creating goals. He is. And that's what you need. You need someone that creates and gets involved and motivates the team. Look at this, right? Put it this way, right? Everyone knows Esquidina has probably got a good future in his hands, right? But Esquidina is not great right now. But Ilias Cher and who else was it? I can't remember who the other player was. Were the only players that consoled him and say, listen, look, you know, it's going to take time and go from that. You got to understand, in football, right, it's not just, I get it, it's about goals and scoring goals, but Chair's not a goal scorer. Even though he has scored goals for us, he's not a goal scorer, you know? That's why you buy strikers, Kone, Burrell, Frey, you know, these are the goal scorers. If they're not scoring goals, they got to go. You know, and going on to goal scorers, Zan Seller's probably going to get sold in January, it looks like. So, you know, in my opinion, we need to relax with Chair with the goals and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, the way Julian plays, it looks like the goals need to come from the wings, and that's how he does it. You know, Sayo and Dembele need to get in a bit more of goal involvements, but that's just me. Like, I get your understanding of, obviously, he don't score goals. I get that, 100%. I get it, but I just think in football, it's, you know, when with Chair, you can't just think of him as goals. You got to think of him as a player that, because Chair gets back a lot, you know, and he reminds me, you know, his work ethic is a lot better than Adel Taarabt, but his attitude is a little bit like Taarabt, in a sense of where he will foul you if he gets annoyed, you know. So that's my whole point. He's a valuable asset when it comes down to defending as well, you know. I think Chair is a valuable asset. He shouldn't be sold. That's my point. End of. You know, and if you're gonna sell players right now, the only players that I can tell you right now that need to be sold is Cook, Joe Walsh, and I don't know. I can't think of any others apart from them two. But what I will say is that alright, let me get back into this. But yeah, this is the team. This is the team which I'm saying right now. This is how it's gonna be. This is how I want it to be. So we'll go from there. Yeah. Alright, let's go back to this quickly. Right, so in this, what I'm trying to say is this. It's going to be a difficult game, you know, and we need to score quickly. We do against Hull, 100%. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. What are his assists? Let me check his assists right now, actually, from this season. Ches got 0 assists. Zero assists. Ches has no assists this season whatsoever. So yeah. Our most assists is Jimmy Dunn with 2. So yeah. Well, it actually could be Harvey Vale. I'm not too sure. But yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, prediction. Well, let's do that in a bit. I'll say. Right now, we need to get this win against Hull on Saturday. We need to go in there, score first, be dominant, score more than 2 goals this against Hull to keep the fans happy. We need to defend. We need to put Jimmy Dunn as centre back to hold the height against the wing play, as what they're playing right now is what it looks like. We need to stop their wing backs, full backs, whoever it is. We need to be aggressive, I reckon, in this game. And we need Kone up front to score goals. You know, Burrell on the bench would be best, but Kone chair would be the best partnership in the middle. That's what I think. So yeah. Let us know what you think in the comments, what your team would be, who you would change, and what you expect from the game. Now, prediction-wise, I want to go with a 2-1 win for QPR. Put your comments below what you think the result will be, what your predictions are going to be. But put in the comments after the video. Don't worry about the chat. Put them in after the comments below, so I can obviously see what everyone's saying. But yeah. Moving on to just quick news, yeah, Zan Seller. So we are reports are saying that Norrington Davis, we probably are going to sign him in January. Norrington Davis is probably going to be signed in January, but the problem is, I reckon that means Zan Seller is going to be sold as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Zan Seller gets sold, and we use that money to bring in Davis on a permanent transfer. So yeah, Ronnie Edwards, I'm not too sure. Nothing's been really said, but yeah, we'll see what happens. But I know there's another. I got told that there's another centre back on the radar at the moment. So yeah, when I get more information, we'll see what happens. But we'll go from there. But we're back. We're back from international break. This Saturday, we will be live from 2:45, 2:15. You guys will be so lucky to have me at that time. But yeah, we'll be back 2:45 on Saturday. We will. So yeah, we'll go from there and see what happens. But no international break till March. So yeah, let's go. Foley says first goal is crucial. Always it has been for Foley. If no one knows Foley is pretty much how would I say it, day one, as they call it, a day one. He's been in this chat, been in this channel for a long time, and I think he deserves his credit in what he does for this channel. So everyone give a shout out to Foley for what he does. Obviously others like Wham. There are some others as well. Ryan, I think Ryan is another person, or Reese, I can't remember if it's Ryan, you know. But yeah, big shout outs to all of you guys, man, for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to, and if you want to tune in on Saturday, we'll be live from 2:45 p.m. with the watch along against Hull City at home. So yeah, don't forget to keep your comments below. Have a good day. Enjoy your last day at work, people, tomorrow. If you're watching this today. If not, tomorrow morning, afternoon, watch it while you're on break, whatever. But yeah, we'll catch you on Saturday. And have a lovely rest of your week. And we'll catch you on the weekend with football back. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll catch you in a bit. Have a good evening, yeah?